Hey guys, Frizzy Brony here, and whoo, episode 200. Now, it only seems like it was a little while ago that we had episode 100, and here we are somehow another 100 later in the final season. Now, episode 100 dropped a lot on us. It was like that Simpson episode, 100 small stories from around Springfield, and we had all that, the individual lives. They didn't quite go that route for this one, though. They did things a little bit differently. And I'm so glad they did. Now, to kick things off and get everything going, we start on a lovely sweeping view of the school. And Spike showing off his wings, flying into the castle with paper in hand. Okay, start off with... Pass.
Twilight,
Pass.
look at the scroll I just got.
It's made of paper! Yes, I know it was a letter, but still I couldn't help making that kind of obvious joke. A letter has arrived directly from Canterlot, and in fact it's from her brother. Now, I originally thought it was a type of competition. It was a flyer for a mass competition that Twilight and the girls would have to take part in, hence the title Twilight 7. I knew there was going to be the Ocean's 11-y vibe, but I was thinking it was more going to be that the girls, including Starlight, had to take part in this contest, get through it, and compete with everyone else. Staying in the vein of previous episode 100, by having all the other teams of background ponies now getting a bit of chance in the foreground. But no, it's from Shining Armor. Hasbro sales.
There's no toy crown. It's a hard-won helm of the sibling supreme.
Oh no.
When Shining
Oh
Armor
no.
was
No.
put it over everything.
Let's see where this is going. It's nice that we got Shining Armor back more than once this season. It's nice that he's getting a little bit more time in the spotlight. And we get a little bit of backstory on them as well with their little sibling rivalry, a little bit of feuding between them. And of course, the absolute adorableness that is Baby Spike.
Sharing.
Aww.
Getting good. The sibling with the most will win the
Aww.
crown of the sibling supreme.
It really is weird seeing little Spike down there. Now, after receiving this challenge, the throwing down of the gauntlet, Twilight immediately hightails it to Canterlot Castle, where things aren't exactly as she plans. Woo!
You're wearing it?
And we see this competition has taken a little bit of a turn for the extreme, with Shining Armor now basically saying, I'm done with the games, done with it all, we're going to have one final one, and whoever wins is forever the better sibling. Meanwhile, in the background though, we've got Celestia and Luna, and I am so glad that we are having a little bit more interaction between them, because we saw them in the first episode, in the premiere, that's the word I was looking for, and now we see them a bit more interaction. And one of my favourite episodes from the previous seasons, I know I've got quite a few, I'll make a list one day, was the episode of Luna and Celestia swapping jobs, because we got to see so much of their personality, and that just bled through here as well.
The return of Sombra, Princess Luna and I felt it was time to reinforce the castle's defenses.
By retiring.
Do it ourselves, but some ponies are a bit stubborn.
Oh,
I
the
asked
face,
captain of the
the
guard
salt
to
face there. Please tell me that the sisters are going to be the ones doing the best sibling competition.
Want me
Please.
to break into some...
Yeah, Celestia getting a little bit of a jab in the back and Luna being super salty was just so good to see. But alas, Twilight now has the gauntlet thrown down and Shining Armor has kind of thrown everything at her. He's told her every plan, which is always the first mistake of letting them know what they're up against. He goes in meticulous detail and lists every single defense mechanism they have, including the secret trapdoor in the throne room, so it's no longer a secret.
I rigged a floor trap to activate it.
No, don't tell her everything.
But say you avoid the floor, still no luck.
Stop giving your plans away.
Alarm system.
Oh god, death flamingos. Ah! And because of this, Twilight returns to the castle, and naturally she gets a little bit worried.
Tunnels, he guessed your whole plan. What?
I swear he just said personal loans.
Costumes? Sign the future sibling supreme? Oh, come on!
And this is where the best member of the main six decides it's her time to have a little bit of time in the spotlight.
Your brother will win. No matter how brilliant your plan is, no matter how many variations you try, it will be something your brother expects. And he'll
Best
always
horse has best plan.
Unless...
Once again, blending that weird mixture of the movie faces and the old show style. I do like it, but it's a little jarring at times to see their faces look a bit more squishy.
Therefore, Twilight cannot mastermind the plan. But I can.
That's definitely unexpected.
Dash's face explained it all there. So they formulate a brilliant plan. Shining Armor pretty much expects Twilight to do everything as Twilight would. And so the girls come up with an ingenious plan to do everything completely different.
Because my plan is for each of us to devise our own unexpected part of it.
My plan is for all of us to make a completely different plan. Oh yay, film noir style. Naturally, Twilight isn't too keen on the idea. However, she does acquiesce and let them go along with it. And so we get the scouting part of the mission. We've done the planning phase. Now we get to move on to scouting the job, as any good heist does. And oh my days, the moments that pop up in this are too numerous to mention. They are absolutely wonderful. But the absolute standout has to be the one that is focused on the most, which is the interactions of Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy's brother.
Zephyr Breeze? Oh, darling.
Wait, is that her dad?
This couldn't be more perfect. How is this perfect? He's the most annoying pony.
No. Okay.
And we have to come up with a way to distract.
No!
Oh no! Oh, no way!
Was that that?
Rainbow!
Oh no, it's him. Oh, I didn't recognize him with. Oh, Jesus. Yes, I'm terrible with character names, thinking it was her dad, but still. That would have been an excellent plot twist. It's a case of Shining Armor has got Rainbow Dash's own father onto guard duty, so having his daughter trying to sneak in adds that different challenge. In fact, I was kind of expecting a bit more subterfuge with Spitfire being on lead for the aerial guard, Rainbow's parents being brought in maybe. Fluttershy's brother was an unusual one, but then again, it pays off later, so I can't really say anything about that. So as the planning phase goes on, a multitude, absolute multitude of things go wrong. In fact, everything goes wrong. I don't know, I can't remember. And this is where the plan goes to pot. Although it does give us, once again, another Luna moment, which I'm never going to complain about.
Another false alarm from Shining Armor's guard team.
Oh, that caught me off guard.
Heard by now.
Oh.
Something must have gone wrong. Probably several something.
I love the fact that Luna's the one that's like, nah. So we've had Applejack and her made-up backstory. We've had Pinky and her space exploration trip. That's just not happened. Rainbow and Rarity have got lost in the catacombs of Canterlot. Spike and Fluttershy have been trapped, although they do get found by Rarity and Rainbow Dash. And Twilight's just loitering around the place as usual. Have I missed anyone? Nah, not anyone important anyway. Now it's at this point that they start to go back, rethink a few things they've done, and they bring in a few more ponies from outside the circle, which I really liked, especially because they brought back one of the best non-main six, non-royal characters.
I'm strong, Twilight, but not even I can buck this solid rock.
What does guarding mean?
Specialist.
Yay! Best pony, who's not part of the main six, or royal. There's a lot of criteria. You were saying, Applejack? But this is where they are trying round two. Everything now is going correct. They've got past the guard, they've got into the castle, and right at the last moment, the crown is within their grasp, and...
Fly over and take the crown, and I'll be sibling supreme forever!
Not exactly.
Wait, cheating!
Come on!
Shining Armor cockblocks them. Because that's how things go. He just has to boast and gloat, which is, once again, if you've ever watched Ocean's 11, kind of part and parcel of the movie.
Gotta admit, it was unexpected for you to do everything exactly how I thought you would.
Ha!
But you should know by now. that
Nobody
you're
expects the Twilight Inquisition.
Sibling Supreme.
Although, Celestia does take the high and mighty path with Shining Armor siding with him. Things aren't always as they seem.
I am sorry, Twilight, but it looks as though Shining Armor has truly won.
Come on, Luna.
That's the thing about looks. They can be deceiving.
Ooh!
Like?
How in Equestria did you do it?
Yeah, that was a twist I didn't expect. And once again, we get an absolutely fantastic moment. The
You don't
subterfuge.
think you have the only sibling rivalry. I had an inside pony help.
Yes!
Hard to miss there was some
Oh, that was so perfect. This is why Luna is best princess. She just does things her own way, and she doesn't even have to worry about royal face. It's a case of, I will do what I want, aside from my sister. We don't have to worry about her. And thus we get the revelation of what the actual plan was. Aside from Twilight 7, it seems Twilight 7 was actually just Twilight 6, and one of them was a little bit more devious than the others with his own plan. And Spike just absolutely steals it.
I knew Shining Armor would let it play out until the last possible second. Then, while everyone was distracted by its gloating, all Luna had to do was float the crown over to me.
That's actually too brilliant. So the plan has been revealed, and there was one final interaction between the sisters. I just didn't have the heart to actually interrupt it. I wanted to listen to every single word. I was hooked. And so I just had to hear what they said.
I apologize for not listening to your concerns, sister. It seems we need to make adjustments to account for threats inside the castle as well as out. If you agree?
If you think it's worth discussing.
And so the episode comes to a sweet conclusion, because all throughout it we've heard little glimpses of this thing between Twilight and Shining Armor, and how Spike was there. And I did not realise that this was going to turn into a Spike episode. Kinda did by the end of it, and it was a sweet one. Seeing the revelation of his subterfuge come to full fruition. It was nice that at the end they decided to actually give him the crown.
The true sibling supreme.
Oh, that was just too beautiful.
Spike.
Huh? The little
So wait.
brother? We've always.
Twilight 7 is a Spike episode. We didn't even know it. And so there we go, we're at the end of the episode. Didn't end as I expected. In fact, none of the episode was how I expected it to be, as I say. I was riding high off the hopes it was going to be like episode 100, and we were going to get thrown a million references, cameos, and just jokes out the rear end. And what we got instead was actually a very heartwarming, heartfelt episode about Spike. And the girls, don't get me wrong, it was a fantastic episode because it didn't really have a true focus. It did end up being a Spike episode. But the focus was mainly between siblings. And the fact that we actually got 3 sets appear. Because obviously we have Twilight and Shining Armor, Celestia and Luna, and then even a little bit with Fluttershy and Zephyr. They played on the idea of siblings, and that was actually a nice detail in the background. All in all, as the second episode of the non-cinematic ones, as I will refer to them, because come on, let's face it, we all wait for the double premiere, double finale. But still, as a standalone episode, once again, this is better than last week's. Last week's episode was okay, but this one definitely upped it, purely because it's got Luna in it, and anytime we get the Royal Sisters interacting, you know the fans, including me, are going to absolutely eat that up. But it is sweet to see the interactions of the Royals, because we get so little of them that when we do, we know it's going to be an absolute great time. The dynamic of the episode as well, making it a competition, allowed it to be secluded and almost contained within one area. Apart from the beginning where we were at the school, and then the planning phase, a lot of it took place within Canterlot, specifically the castle, which is always good when the plot is focused rather than all over the place. Now, some people I spoke to did say that there were references to episode 100, and I may have missed those because I actually could not see any. I'm going to go back and rewatch it again. But on that initial run through, which I've been showing all the clips of the reaction from, I didn't see any episode 100 references. So if you know what they were, tell me down below what they were. If there were little bits that you noticed that I didn't, let me know down, and let me know what you thought of the episode as well. And until we come back for episode 4, technically 5, because this is like episode 3, I'm losing track. We're going to come back for episode 5 next week, and until then, bye-bye.
Deal.
That was easy.
Are you sure this counts?
No making jokes about the wings.
Giving us any stars.
I will represent those.
I will represent your mum and dad.
Your help will reveal if there are any holes in our security.
And I've designed a multi-
Oh, that was so cute. She made an actual horse noise.
Creature from flying too close to the
I want to see someone go into it.
Plus, the entrance
Ah, the bird's still there.
castle have been sealed.
Applejack, you'll buck your way into the sealed tunnels. Rainbow Dash, if any pony can
Okay.
outrun the wind
I love that. Just a little. Just keep rubbing your leg, girl.
I know what I can do. You're gonna need a lookout.
Ah, we're gonna see all the different styles now. What the hell? Ponies in space.
Oh, Vicky, that tickles.
That is freaky.
Smile.
If this is legit, we need this as an entire episode.
Talent spread, and soon Apple Cord was playing real
No. Your name is Apple Jewel, and that's the only other alter ego you can have.
played.
Except that's not what happened.
Smile was all she ever wanted from her music.
Because you've always been on the farm.
Of course, Apple Cord could come out of retirement for a farewell concert this one time.
Wait, did you just make all that up, or did that actually happen?
Question I need to know. Oh. Wait, no. Element of honesty. You cannot do this. You cannot do this. The hell? Little detail there. The fact that it hit off the string and it played the chord. I like that. Oh, the note, I should say. That was such a minute detail, but as a musician, I love it. Was that that? Oh, no, it's him. Oh, I didn't recognize him with. Oh, Jesus.
Pony in uniform, am I right?
Why has she got Meg's hairstyle? Why are we going Disney's Hercules? Oh, that is so weird.
Totally. Why don't you
I'm gonna walk over here and I go, whoa,
Look over here, and it's like, BAM!
stand like this.
And I look over there, it's like, boom!
Hallway, go,
And I look over there, and it's like, uh-huh. You can say a lot without saying anything. What is that voice you are doing? I have no idea what it is.
If you think it's worth discussing.
I'm not talking over that. That scene alone is just beautiful.
Who gets the crown?
I don't even know what this music is. I'm just doing this. Don't know why. I'm probably going to stop in a moment.